try to get a decent video in before it starts raining too hard. Okay, let's get the hood opener as it's starting to downpour on me here. Hood opener. It's not raining there, so we're good. Whoop, my bad. There. No spring. Oh, no spring. So you need a hood. Oh, that hurt. Carb cover. So we'll get you in here. Mother God. Yeah. Of course, tripod does not want to work today. So we'll get you in here and then up now, up, shit. Finally get a tripod and this is what it does. Whoa. Alright, so we'll do a little video here for you guys today. By the way, subscribe, like, it's all appreciated. I do work a full-time job, so that's why my videos are very intermediate, or however you say it. It's been a rough night. We had a big party last night, hence why I had to move everything around this morning. But I do work. It's a little tough getting videos out. I try to do the best I can. Some nights I'm not home till 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it's just really hard with neighbors and stuff like that, and noise ordinance. And so this truck's going to be on the channel. This is going to be going to Florida every year, maybe a few mud bogs. Shit, rain is coming down, so we'll just, there we go, phone's covered. So it's going to be going to mud bogs. I want to do Bloomsburg Fair. I want to do the Buck. That'll be in a couple bogs, you know, locally. But it's mainly gonna be going to Florida to Plant Bamboo, Redneck Mud Park. It didn't do too bad, other than the fact that next year I definitely got to get the distributor something covering it so it's not getting as wet. I do have to run a better snorkel system because I had the normal top hat and then $6 dryer hose, and needless to say, going down the highway, it tore off on the outside. It did work for the inside though. Not 1 ounce of water got in that carburetor, and that's an Amazon carburetor. It runs phenomenal. The truck's kind of running a little iffy right now, but I got all summer to screw around with it, have fun. I am thinking about doing a Holley EFI. I don't know what everybody's opinion is on those, but it seems like that's going to be the best route for this, getting the, you know, the maximum out of a 318 that I can. Now it does do good carbureted, but it's hit or miss. You know, I'm constantly tuning it, you know, different scenario. It's all preference. So I think this summer I'm gonna sit down, figure everything out that I want to do, or comment down below and see what your opinion I should do with a Holley EFI, or just making it an EFI period, put an HEI in it, and be done with all this wiring and coil and, you know, getting rid of the carburetor. It does need brakes. I might put a smidge of a lift on it just for ground clearance. I mean, really, to be honest with you, ground clearance isn't an issue in mud. The back mud grips, those mudders, they bite. Now the front, it's got a set of KO2s on it, but I don't think they bite as much as the mudders on the back, but they work. So I do want to get another set of you know, used mudders and do something with that. The interior, I do want to put a cage on it if I do try to do anything with more power, at least. Put a cage in it. The interior looks like shit right now, but for a bogger, it doesn't have a roof. Basically, the only thing I need is a temp gauge, amp gauge, and water gauge. Temp gauge is water gauge. Again, don't mind me. We had a rough night last night with a party. But, or we take this out and budgetly, because I ain't no famous YouTuber yet, get a used LS, maybe supercharger, maybe turbo, and, you know, redo the whole drivetrain. Now, don't get me wrong, the drivetrain in this is really nice because it has a four low lock, 4 low, 4 high, and, you know, it'll help you in any situation you need. But do I want to stick with that, or do I put another completely different drivetrain in it? So that's what's going on with this. It's going to be parked for a little while. I might start it up once in a while. It needs belts. Alternator's starting to go. The solenoid over there, I keep having to clean it. Needs a master cylinder. That's possibly why it doesn't have brakes. I didn't look underneath it yet. Do have to do some plugs and wires and shit like that. But that's the mud truck, and partial of the reason why I haven't been, you know, making videos as much, or shorts as much as I was before. With work, the season just started and we're like on a roll right now, and working late hours and trying to get, you know, customers in before the holidays. So that's the mud truck. I need your opinion. Like I said, I want to go one of a few ways, but I don't know where to start and what's better and what's not. Should we optimize all the power we can get out of 318, which I know isn't much, but if we can make it a smidge more, you know, make it a little more torquey? Or do we go ahead and just put a whole new, you know, heart in it and drivetrain? You guys let me know down in the comments, and we'll go from there on this. So we're gonna wrap this up today for the mud truck. Yes, it's janky. I don't have a bolt for my battery terminal, but it still works. It's on there nice and tight, but I do need another cable because that one's starting to melt after the mud park. So that's the story. Oh, my carb and distributor cover. There we go. Believe it or not, that works. So, and then oh, pop. I do want to put a bumper on here. Those hooks do work. I do want to keep the original grill. Most of these parts on the mud truck are original. Oh, that's nasty. I just stepped in the freaking cat litter. It's not the greatest looking thing, but it's something fun. You know, like I said, it's rough. Those mudders work, so I want to get a set for the front. Like I said, the interior ain't nothing special. You know, I do have a working temp gauge, oil gauge, and then down here, amp gauge, just make sure we're charging. That there is my redneck choke. Believe it or not, it freaking works. But I ain't gonna go too crazy on the interior, only due to the fact that, I mean, it's gonna be full of mud, you know, and it's only a weekend warrior kind of thing. And then I got to do something here. I want to get a fuel cell, you know, run hard lines the correct way. I got to get the fuel filter up front somewhere else, because I think it's vapor locking. This setup my dad had, he did when he tried to go mudding with it. It's still got the original sending unit in it, going to an electric fuel pump and down, and it works to an extent. So I don't know which route I want to go with that either, but I do want to get a fuel cell, something to help the sloshing and everything else, because if I do keep it carbureted, that's another problem. When it gets so low and it starts sloshing, it's not sucking up and shit like that. And then as you guys saw with that tree over there, we did rip off the bumper. Now, there was some good metal, but as you saw, it was rotted. It is what it is. The easiest way, rather than messing with rusted out hard bolts. So put my hood prop where it should be, grab the keys, that's all done. And yes, I do have a booster seat for when it's raining, because I don't like a wet ass all the time. So, and then the wife's Jeep, we just put a radiator in. It was a bitch, because you can't exactly just pop one in, you know, pop the hood, take, you know, a few bolts on top, a few bolts on the bottom, top hose, bottom hose, pull it out. It doesn't work like that, you know, Chrysler shit. Then you got this beauty right here. This is going to be on the channel too in a couple months here. There's going to be a couple pools. There's going to be Warren County and Sussex. It ain't the greatest, but it's fun. Look, there's guys out there that have thousands of horsepower, or even in a street class, and you know, they have a turbo. So be it. You get a truck, at least it's four-wheel drive, go out and have fun. Hook to that sled, experience something that, you know, some of you guys may not have experienced before, because it is fun. And if you have experienced truck pulling, yeah, it's addicting and it's fun and it's competitive. But for me, it's just fun. Go out, see a couple good guys with nice trucks. Yeah, mine's a piece of shit, but it's still fun. It still goes somewhere. So I know the bumper's got to come off, because the old man didn't put a tire by the back bumper when we were putting the mud truck in the hole. Well, it was supposed to go in this hole where I'm standing now, but he didn't put a tire there, and one of the hooks decided it was going to puncture the, you know, bumper. But I am going to get a tuner. They do have tuners for these. It's like I said, it's not going to make it a powerhouse. It just helps make it shift better, and especially when I'm going down the, you know, pulling down a track, maybe it'll keep it into, you know, one gear rather than going first, second, first, you know, normal bullshit. It does have an exhaust manifold leak, but I ain't fixing that, because I'm just going to go headers. Eventually, this truck is coming off the road. It has costed us way too much between the trans sensors, flywheel, which is a common with the 5.4 Tritons. This truck will be coming off the road, and I'm just going to modify it. It's still going to run the street class. It ain't going to be modified like the big guys, the alcohol blowers. Maybe some track bars in the back, you know, the tuner, as I was saying. I did do the exhaust just the other day, and I will tell you one thing. True dual exhaust does, matter of fact, it helps. Okay, I had that single, you know, the 2-into-1, which is the Y pipe, and believe it or not, it ran better with that setup after taking the muffler and everything off. But Ford has their Y pipe to where you can hook up, you make your own dual exhaust, because the sensors are up high. But as soon as I did this setup, oh my God, the amount of torque that's there, and it's not a powerhouse per se, but it does get up to speed pretty quick. Now, I haven't tried it on the highway yet, but I guarantee, I mean, this thing just, it's a different animal just with exhaust. So, I know, I'll do a little startup here for you guys. Hopefully there's fuel in it. as I was saying, it does have a manifold leak, but this exhaust does help it out tremendously. People are gonna be like, yeah, exhaust doesn't do shit. Maybe it doesn't, but for me, I saw it in this 5.4, and the 5.4s are the biggest dogs you could ever imagine. But it woke it up. Don't ask me how or why, but it woke it up. It does run off of 93 octane. I don't know why, but it won't run off of regular fuel or regular unleaded. It spits, it chokes, it sputters, you name it. I put 93 octane in it. The Ultra from Sunoco runs flawless. Doesn't spit, sputter, ping, nothing. So this is going to be my setup for my fun toy when I get my new truck. And like I said, the mud truck, that'll be set up, you know, for the mud bogs. Might do a few this summer. Don't mind the bird shit. This truck's now sits because I have a work vehicle. But this summer we're gonna have truck pulling with this. Mud trucks, you know, probably gonna go to a couple bogs. And then I wanna start ripping into a power plant for the mud truck. Like I said, you guys gotta let me know who has the best, you know, reference, you know, between an LS or just going Holley EFI, you know, just to open up the 318 a little bit, or do we go different power plant? You guys let me know. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys later. Like, subscribe, catch you later. She's still a Ford.